All right, guys. Good evening. Welcome to class.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
And welcome to class.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Demola, welcome to class.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Balade.
Yes.
We are going to complete we should be completing this course. So let's share screen. Share screen. All right. Here. And then, okay. So let's, we are doing CloudFormation. CloudFormation. Of course, we already know that there are always several tools for accomplishing particular tasks, for example. So it's not rigidly one tool. In infrastructure as code, we use Terraform is the most popular, but we also have CloudFormation, which is the AWS native infrastructure as code tool. All right, because AWS is very popular, but the most popular cloud provider. Let's just take a peek at how that works. All right, so of course we are still henceforth we are running everything from VS Code. So we already have that set up and working fine. So let's go. Let's see if we can set up something here. What do we have? So let's create a new project. Call it. Where's my project? Okay, let me look for it. Infrastructure as code, CloudFormation. Okay, so let me share this. Yeah. All right, so let's create a new project here. Create a new folder, create a folder, and then let's call it, I've used that name. Yeah, and delete this, I don't know. So let's call this one class. New folder, rename it, we rename new folder, rename it to class one. All right, so we'll work from class one. I haven't created that folder. We come to file, we come to the folder. Let's see if we got it. We want to save changes to be maybe. Okay, so we have our new folder, if you can see. And then we don't have a terminal, so we come here and we say new terminal. What kind of terminal are we using? Not PowerShell, we're using this. All right, so we are fine. And then we are ready. What are doing? That's basically we are set. Like I said, I've updated the notes, so let's go with the notes so we don't miss anything. Can you see my note?
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right. So, all right. For CloudFormation, we'll do. Yeah, I would appreciate it. You can come with me so that at least one person gets it right. And so I've practiced some of these things, so we may not have the opportunity to do it from scratch. So what I need you to do if you're on your system is go look for the extension CloudFormation. So you come here and you go to extension here. There are plugins. And then you specifically look for CloudFormation. All right, there it is. All right. In your own case, it it should be showing installing to install that extension. that plugin so that your Terraform environment now supports your CloudFormation code, and then it's ready to deploy. All right, is somebody doing that?
Yes.
Yes, I just did.
Awesome. Yeah, but just by way of adding Jara, let's also install these other extensions. By the way, before we go there, let me just take you through this. Just to show you that these things are not really memorized. Everything, the tool is there. There is nothing that anybody's really doing. So what does CloudFormation do? What it does is install the extension and then it's guiding you to taking the next step. All right. We're going to attempt to create a new file. And then, yeah, just note that this literature is there. That's, you may not read it word for word. It's there so that in case you are lost or something, you don't need to go far away looking for the literature or something to remind you of that. Everything is right. Sometimes the simple answer is staring at us the wall. Okay, now, like I said, let's come back and also install another extension called indent one space. Indent one space. Let's go look for it. So we come here. I'll say indent one. Right. So yours should show install. It will be helpful in indent one. And then maybe not very obvious here. You may also want to install this other extension called AWS Toolkit. AWS Toolkit. We'll come back there and install AWS Toolkit. I already said that VS Code is so powerful. It can literally integrate anything as far as development is concerned. So these are just a few of the tools that you happen to be working with. Otherwise, there are, I'm tempted to say millions, thousands of different plugins called extensions here that you just need to interface with your VS Code and you become a guru. There are millions, whether it's from Oracle or from Azure or from places that you may not even know. But in any case, there's AWS Toolkit. That is it. AWS Toolkit, Amazon Web Services Toolkit for browsing and updating cloud resources for browsing. You can actually sit right here, connect with your cloud and browse your cloud resources without the need for the other method that we're using to open another URL. All right. So all you will do is right here. Once you create your, if I'm not rushing, what are you? Have you installed the 3 extensions?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Let's take it down. Okay. All right. So we installed those extensions. The most important, the real one we need is the CloudFormation. The others are just for. All right. Now let's create our first file. What do we want to do with the first file? Let's create a VPC. This experience has shown that that's the simplest and number one. Why is it not number one? Okay. The arrangement shouldn't matter. Okay, let's create a VPC. So right here, I have deliberately not given you codes here so that, you know, in the other case, the codes were literally already generated for us. It was just a matter of going to the documentation. We'll be punishing ourselves if we have given a tool and we refuse to use it. All right, so we just went to the documentation, copied it and customized it. But in this case, I'm not giving you codes. Let's see how we can create this code by ourselves. All right, even though it looks intimidating, like we already saw, it's not so difficult. All right, so for YAML for what? First of all, CloudFormation scripts are written either in YAML or in JSON. It supports both. It supports both YAML format and JSON format. Personally, I like the reason I'm choosing YAML, and coincidentally, almost all the instructors out there are also using YAML, is because we'll be using YAML. YAML is about the #1 file we'll be using almost constantly in DevOps. So Kubernetes files are written in YAML, Ansible, almost all of them, which is not written, apart from Jenkins codes, all other tools deploy YAML. So therefore, let's get an introduction to it here and then get familiar with it. Otherwise, if you are more familiar with this, it's okay. Actually, there are tools. Let's see if this guy has it. There are tools that you can actually use to convert from one form to the other. Let's see if convert YAML to JSON to the
I think it's down there. I saw something like YAML to JSON.
okay, sorry now. Is it still here?
Right there. Okay, it's down there. It's down there. Oh,
sorry, YAML to JSON.
no. It's
Right
like
there.
purple something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
One more.
It easily converts YAML to JSON and JSON to YAML. So you don't really have problem. So whatever you can write, just write it in one form and then you can easily convert to the other form. Awesome. But that's not our interest here. We just want to stick with YAML. All right. Okay, so it's important to know that that is the format. And now let's start to create a VPC. So let's go. Because we've already installed the appropriate extensions. So we just come here to our folder and we'll say create a file and call it any name is okay, but I can call it VPC not .tf, VPC.YAML. YAML can be written in full like that. The system recognizes it as YAML file, or it can be written as YML. Okay, both forms are acceptable to the system. All right, or prefer to do full YAML. All right, so this is our YAML. So let's start now to create our VPC using CloudFormation. So we do not know what to do. So we are going to do start. That is it. And then it will suggest start. Because of the YAML extension, it knows that you are trying to write the YAML. That's it. So right now, from the little experience that I have, I know we don't need anything metadata for this particular assignment. We don't need parameters, we don't need this, we don't even need condition. I mean, these are the possible modules that you would have for any resource that you are trying to deploy. This is the format, but it doesn't mean that they are all always applicable. In this case, all I want to create is a simple resource. So for this, I'm going to remove this because they are not applicable in this case. Yeah, even output for now. All right, so that is it. Now that I've chosen what I want to focus on, let's start. So for description, I'll just say, what are we doing here? This YAML file creates what a VPC. So let's just put it creates a VPC. All right, that's it. All right, then I press tab. Let me undo it. All right, so I come to resources. All right. Well, that was good. I didn't even know that tab could summarize that. Well, it's just that I want to show you manual. So I come to resources. What do we want to install right now? VPC. So I'm just going to say, give me the resource. In other words, this is what I am trying to, this is the resource I'm trying to provision. I'll just say VPC. All right. So what about the VPC, PVC? Well, it's so simple. This is what I want. I want the resource that I want to deploy is VPC. So I take VPC. And this comes automatically. That's it. All right. So all it requires from me is already giving me that, and then the properties of the VPC that I'm trying to create. So it's saying, give me the CIDR block. That's easy for me. At least I know the 10.0, 10.0.0.0 slash. All right. Then enable
0 or 16.
Oh, sorry, dot 16, yeah. Dot 16. And then for CIDR, okay, that's what we have here. Start, we'll take start. And then for CIDR, yeah, 10.0.16. Okay, that's fine. Then what else do we, this is true. Enable DNS support. Yes, support DNS, why not? Then tags. Tags is the label. Again, it's not compulsory, just for label. I'm sure you have that most time we don't even use tag. But you must use tag here. Then it's a key value pair. In other words, you declare the key name and then you provide the answer, the other value to that name. So what name do we want to call this VPC? Maybe we call it test VPC, for example. All right, so that's it. We've completed the form, the template. That's what they call template for deploying VPC, at least as it relates to this configuration. All right. So the next thing you do hereafter is Terraform init, the equivalent of Terraform init. All right. So let's just take a look here. So, in this case, we have output. Okay, let's use output because I already tried it. So output, what do we have? So let's see. So if we're going to say this is resources, so resource it, then all of the resources would have to be inside here. So properties, type. But that was, if we did not delete it, output would have been inside here. Output. I think they all start with capital letter. Out. All right, so you take output and then it brings those values up. Value export, let me see. No, outputs. I should have outputs. Out. All right, then that. All right, so that's the correct syntax, and then I press enter. All right, but I expect it to auto-suggest to come up with that template that I need to fill. All right, so output my VPC. Let's give it a name, resources. Okay, let's try something. Output. Description will give you information about the value. That's still not what I want. All right, so there are so many variables, so I just need to be careful I'm using the right one. All right, so output, then tab. You must, okay, we'll see the importance of indentation later. But for now, what do I want? I want, yeah, it should give me template under output. Let me try again. What did I not do? Outputs. Okay, Yeah. Output. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But the assumption is I don't even know what to type here. So how do we bring up the template so that we do that? Output my VPC, output result value. Let me try value. That's a keyword. Output. Yeah, this is what I expect. But it's not giving. Okay, it's actually giving me the thing. It's the only thing that I can give. It's giving. So output, then that. It's just that for this particular case, we are not using these other ones. Just deleted them. But let me run them side by side so that no longer. All right, so we have description, we have value, right? So we have description, we have value. Yes, it's just that for this case, we do not need, I mean, this is the first example. We do not need, we have not deployed, we have not used this test. So we remove that. And then logical ID, just an ID, which we do not need here. It's not as this. So this is what is left, and that's what we're seeing. So output, then a name for the output, description, and value. All right. So let's give a name. It would be output, like we said here. Let me move this. Okay. So what do we have here? Output what? Any name. In this case, my VPC. Output for my VPC. VPC. All right. What does it do? Information about the output. So what does this really do? It means after you have completed the task above, give me this output. Show me this on the screen. That's all it means. And because it's not all the time that you need something to be shown you on the screen, it's not something you that's all. Show me this output or print this on the screen for me to show. Like a sign that yes, you completed it. And what's the value? What you should be showing me is exclamation mark ref. You see what that means? Okay, let's even pretend we don't know. Okay, and then we'll
I
not
think,
put it.
so I think the O of the output is here in a capital letter.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take all right. And then of course, why is it not in blue? Don't worry, we'll start to correct.
There's a column in front.
There's a column.
Yeah.
All right, so ref, then my VPC. That what we call it? Was that what we call our? Yeah, my VPC. Yes, that's my VPC. Okay, so about indentation, this will be under here. So what you could do is just use tab, or we use the space bar twice. All right, so that's 2 times, or use tab. Right, so that means all of these are under the output that you are expecting. All right, so output for my VPC, this is what I expect. And then this output is a major field in the template. So I don't know if you can see these vertical lines. They are very important, and we will see later. All right, so let's take a look as far as we can judge. Let's see if this is correct. So like you have observed, the field would have to be in blue, and then the answer you are supplying have to be in red, right? So blue. Why is this one not red then? That is the case. That is because there should not be color. All right. Resources, VPC. What do we have here? Actually, it should be a different one here. So resources should be just like we have output and then every other thing underneath output. Resources is a major key there. So this one should be on. All right. And because it's under, it has to be. All right. So my VPC. So what you are creating is a VPC and you want to call that VPC my VPC. So all these other ones will have to be inside under my VPC. Otherwise, what you are saying, if you leave it indented at the same level, is that you are creating another resource type. You are creating another resource property. You want to do this so that everything is under there. Okay. We have types, resources, my VPC.
My VPC with a colon.
Yeah, okay. My VPC with a colon. All right. So this is not the explicit answer, but look for the details and the colon. Okay, so type AWS, that was auto-generated. Properties, CIDR block, enable that true. Then tags. Tags will be key, name, and then value for consistency, because we've been, let's maintain the name we'll be using, my VPC. All right, then output. Okay, so this looks good, as far as we can see. All right, so we'll save, Control S. That is saved. All right, so having saved it, how do we now go ahead to implement? So the command to do the initialization is AWS CloudFormation, of course. We must start with that. Let's quickly log into cloud so that we can monitor resources as they are created. AWS, have I logged into cloud already? Yes. Oh, no. It's on cloud. AWS. Signing. Okay, so yeah, we're here now. And then we're talking about CloudFormation. So maybe we'll go to that part of AWS CloudFormation. All right. Okay, so this is CloudFormation, AWS CloudFormation, model and provision all your cloud infrastructure using codes. All right. So when you run script to create infrastructure in AWS, we call them stacks. So we look for stacks here. And so right now you can create a new task. I mean, if you were doing it from console, but that's not what we want to do. Or we create the stack. In other words, using CloudFormation to deploy our infrastructure. Yes. Okay, so right now there is nothing. So let's go. We come back here. Then we look at the notes. So the command is AWS CloudFormation validate template, then -- template body. That's this kind of long. So, but I already have it, so we just copy. So this is the command. AWS CloudFormation validate the template we have there. So if we did not take time to correct all of those indentation and the colon, you would find fault and tell us this is not correct. All right, but in this case, we copy this, Control C, and then we'll go there. Go to the CLI and paste that. But what are we saying here? AWS CloudFormation. So that's what we are doing. So validate the template that we have there. And then this is just part of the command. What is the name of the template? It's vpc.yaml. So it's vpc.yaml. If it wasn't the same name, then we'll remove this and put the actual name. All right. So this is the command. If you press enter, it tells you there's an error. So let's look for that error and correct. So this script, this YAML script is not valid. Error, validation error. When calling the validation template operation, null values are not allowed in templates. So it does not tell us where the null value is. Okay, let's look. Null means you must enter something. It cannot be empty. All right, so where is that? Create a VPC, we enter something there. Resources, my VPC, properties, CIDR, true, as. I don't know where that is. Let's check the.
Hope is not the template format where you have the date, the number one.
No, that one was auto-generated. I didn't have to.
Oh,
but let's look at the one that works. So this VPC, right? So let's compare side by side. That is that for EC2 or what? Yeah, this is correct. Okay, so let's see where did we have now. So resources. Yeah, let's start from the top. Create the resources. Then after resources, we have custom VPC. Then I have my VPC. And the name of command. Type is the properties, that block. Let's look at the completed. Yeah. Creating VPC. Yeah. All right, so do you see any difference? My VPC, these properties, side up block, true, path, var key, his name, value is my VPC, outputs, output my VPC, description, ref my VPC. I don't see any, no. Let me try it in Control S. It saves that. And then let's try the command again. Clear. And then try the command. Validate that. Okay. So error. Oh, okay. No, an error occurred. Validation form. When call it validate template operation. Resource my VPC properties. Okay. So resource my VPC. What's properties? What do we have here?
it's like it's referring to number 11. If you look at the error.
That's null, N-U-L-L, that's it. But this is what it's referring to. Resources VPC properties. So it's within properties. So there's something that
maybe can you over that 4 in front of VPC, VPC.yam over on the 4.
Mr. Akin, you need to tab, the tab.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see.
Tab
This is the
forward.
properties here.
Either block.
Yeah, the properties here. So everything should be on that property, right? Like it is here, right? So 1, then what?
Then,
Is that correct?
yes,
Then
one
5.
more.
One more error.
And it's,
Yeah, it's done now.
Then even this one. In fact, that was why you had. Don't worry, we'll still have opportunity. Let's just do this manual. Then for the tag, we'll see that this is wrong, right? We'll push it what? And then of course that goes in indentation or indentation. Very important in YAML. In fact, that's the common mistake you'd ever come across in YAML. All right. So what about this one?
it looks
yeah. Okay. Control S. So let's try again. And then this time there's no error. So your code is good. Your code is validated. Your code is validated. I can assure you just because it's the first time. After this, even once you get used to it, even the template would remind you by itself that the registration is on. Okay. So now that your code is valid, what you want to do now is go ahead and apply. That was Terraform init. You do Terraform apply, the equivalent. The command is clear. Command again is in the name. We'll come here and we'll say CloudFormation, create stack. Create stack. And then the name of the stack will be, what name do you want to call it? In this case, I'm calling it project stack. All right. Of course, -- template body file as usual. To create this file, to create this stack and name it this, use this YAML file. We take this, but it's not always this name. Our name, correct name just happens to coincide with that. We take this, Control C. We'll come here. We go to Sierra. And then we say, we run that command. And I thought to type this in this AWS CloudFormation, create, call it that. This is the name of our stack. Remember, we don't have it anywhere else. So project. In fact, let me change it because we have used that name. Let's give it a different name. Let's call it practice 1. All right, practice 1. Okay, so press enter. And then without error, it says, I have created a stack for you. And this is the stack ID. All right. So if we now go to cloud, last time there was no stack. Our CloudFormation did not have any code and therefore did not have anything generated. If we refresh, we're going to see that we just created stack. Look at that. We are going to see that we just created that. All right. Create in progress, is now ready. Practice. And what resources do you have inside? You have VPC inside that stack. All right. You just created the creation of your VPC within the stack. All right. So you have the stack. In other words, this script that is running assumably so many resources. And then you can see the events that took place while it ran and the resources that are contained in that stack. And then output. Yes, in this case, we said show us the output, right? So what did it show us? Output my VPC, VPC value. This is the value. What did we say it should show us? So what we meant here was the bank is variable refer. So this exclamation mark means it's a variable, it's reference. It simply means after that VPC is created, give us the ID. It's not already available. After it is created, refer to it and show it to us. That is why you have this. This is shown to you. This is the result of exclamation mark ref my VPC. Stack ID. And then that is the summary that is also attempted to show you. All right, so and then of course this is the template that we used right there. In other words, we could have just copied it and come here to paste it, but we don't want to work with the whole idea is to avoid GUI. But if you were working with GUI and you copy that template, paste it here and run it, you get exactly the same way. So this is the way you gather working templates and you know what works and what won't. All right. So we just created a VPC. All right. So once you are done with the VPC and you don't need it anymore, how do you delete? How do you?
Did you go to the tab for the VPC to check? If it was
okay. Yeah, we can go check. Let's go check VPC. VPC. Let's open another window. And we see that yes, the VPC was created and is currently not. We have two VPCs. And then this is the default, and this is the one we just. All right. And you recognize it actually by the CIDR number.
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I'm not very, maybe I forgot really. What is a stack?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
just it's a new name. It's the name that
Okay.
CloudFormation calls its own infrastructure. So
Oh,
we just came into CloudFormation. So in CloudFormation, we don't talk about EC2, we don't talk about VPCs, we don't talk about individual infrastructure. We talk about collection of multiple infrastructures as represented in this code. So they are called stack. Even though it happens that right now in this code, there's only one infrastructure, which is the VPC. But usually you could have 15, 17 different, like a log of a bunch of firewoods where one wood would be like one infrastructure. The stack here.
okay.
The stack of infrastructure.
Okay.
Like yeah.
Okay. I thought you probably have taught us before and I forgot. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Then I have a question, sir.
Okay.
Copying from how will I put it now? The Terraform page where we have the documentation. They are written in a JSON. So
No, Terraform
this
is not
is a
written in
different. Okay.
It's
Okay.
written in HCL.
Okay.
HashiCorp language. But
Okay.
they can be presented for our view in JSON format using the JQ, JSON query that is there.
Okay.
But go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I think I get what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
now. Because this is kind of like more specific to like AWS, why Terraform is kind of like a general body, like a big body.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
It's specific to AWS. So the use is limited to all the companies where they use AWS. So that's why Terraform is the main thing, and this one is only second. All right, so that is good. So the note has been helpful so far because now we have completed the setting up of VPC. Now let's destroy it. The command to destroy is this. But before we destroy, we can use this command. What does this do? CloudFormation, describe stack. Describe stack events. All right, so somebody was saying, must we go into cloud, the console every time to view this? What if we don't have access to this? So what you are saying here, look at these events. You can actually view on the CLI without necessarily, in fact, it's assumed that it cannot even come here. It cannot come here. So the command to view this on the CLI is what we have here. So look at it, click stack, and then we are looking event, stack event. So it will be describe stack events. What is the name of the stack that you want the event? Stack name? What's practice? Yeah, practice stack. Stack name. Let's put that down so that we don't. But simply practice, not practice. So yeah, the stack name again is practice. Okay, so let's run that command. Ctrl C, and then we'll run it from here. Ctrl V.
I think it's practice one.
Oh, practice one. Okay. Let's put one there. And then see. All right, so that is it. All right, so we are saying describe the events that have taken place so far concerning the stack that we just created. All right, so stack event, stack ID, practice 1 was created, an AWS CloudFormation resource, and then creation was complete. All right, then my VPC, as part of that, was created within, and then that was complete. And then physical resources ID, other information about that VPC, even while they were being created, before they were, just like I saw them, before it was ultimately ready, everything shown you. Yeah, while the creation was in progress, and then when it was eventually created. Right? So those were the events that led to the creation of the content, the constituents of that stack. In this case, the VPC. All right. Then what other command? AWS CloudFormation describe stack. All right. So this one was describe stack event, but this is describe stack. The stack name, practice 1. Practice 1. Well, I can shade it differently just to tell you that the variable, changing it like that. So don't just copy and paste. Remember to always Control Y. Always change it. And then always change it. And for this is the name of it. Okay, so let's take this. Control C. Then put it here. And we want to clear this thing, so it's what we're doing. And then we'll do this. All right. So this is not event, this is specifically this stuff. All right. Was created, and these are the information you already. Show me this output value. Of the output value. And what I said was show it to me. All right. So that is that. Okay, so then there is one more command, which is to delete the stack. So this is the command. Just leave it as 2 lines as it is. Again, what's the name of the stack we're deleting? Practice 1. We'll copy this command. I will say Ctrl C, delete the stack, not delete the VPC. I've emphasized that enough, right? Delete the entire stack. All right, so we'll go into there, and then we'll say delete. CloudFormation, delete stack. We'll press enter. And it's done. Go back there to CloudFormation. I will say show me the stacks there. Of course, if you go back to the VPC you had before, because the VPC was contained in the stack, that also instead of 3 VPCs, all right, so that's how those commands work. And if you want to see more commands, more CloudFormation commands, you find it fascinating and you say, wow, I like to, what other commands are possible so I can practice? And the command to get that is CloudFormation help. Right? Let's try that. CloudFormation help. Right? So, Cloud, AWS Cloud Formation in help. I'm going to tell you, this is what CloudFormation does. And these are the, okay, so it will not move. So what do I do? Press any space bar. You don't want to press. Available commands. So there's a command called active type. There's a command called cancel update stack, create change set, create stack. We've used this one, all right? Create stack set, create, and so on and so forth. Deactivate type. delete stack, which we have used, describe stack events we used, and so on and so forth. So these are the different commands that AWS CloudFormation. Validate template. Yeah, we use that, right? We use it. Update stack, test type, and so on and so forth. And that's it. These are the commands. Once you are done, press letter Q. All right. So beyond what we are doing in class, if you find it fascinating, you may want to look at those commands. See what is present. All right. So that's what we have here. Cloud, AWS CloudFormation help. Press Q to close. Control C will not work. We'll learn more about CloudFormation. All right. Any questions so far? Everything making sense? We don't really need this because, yeah, that's what we just had. But like I said, okay, let's look at maybe there for reference. But since the process of developing it is simple and gives you the opportunity to identify errors and correct them, you may just want to follow that. But again, once you become expert and you know what to do, let's stop. All right. So the next thing we want to show you is how, let us use CloudFormation to create an S3 bucket. Let's go and do it. Any questions so far? Okay, no question. So to create an S3 bucket is different from this. So let's create a different file and call it S3. We'll come here and we'll say new file, s3.yabl. And then we don't know what to do, right? So what's the first thing we do? It is start. Gives us the template. Again, I do know that I don't need this. Instead of keeping them and giving none, like we already saw that it doesn't like you ignoring those parameters. Yeah, for apples, I'm not sure.
Can't you just comment it out?
Yeah, that's an option, but I'm just following best practice. If I don't need it, I'll remove it. I'll not try the option before. All right, so description, just what do you want to call it? Create an S3 bucket. Creating, or yeah, anything is okay. Let's do it. Creating S3 bucket. All right, so what are we creating? Resources. What are we creating? Again, we remember that it should be under and then one tab, right? We forgot that the last time. All right, so resources will be there. What are we creating? S3. So we take S3. S3. Look at it. S3 bucket. That's all we know. We just know that this is what we're creating. So we take that and it gives us the template. Whatever we can fill, we fill. What we don't understand, we delete completely. That's it. All right, so let's see how much of this we understand. What kind of control do you want over this S3 bucket you want to create? You want it to be private S3 bucket? You want it to be publicly read? You want the public to be able to read as well as write? Whatever you want, take one, only one. Yeah, that's what this signs means. Maybe public read. Then I remove the rest. All right, so bucket name, let's give it a name. What name do you want to call it? The ITern bucket 3. That name is unlikely to have been. That will be unique. Course configuration, that's complex. I don't want to have anything to do with course. I'm not using it. Well, maybe not complex, but I mean it's outside the curriculum. So I'm going to, we have not even learned that. So I'll remove that. Lifecycle policy, no, I don't want to do. Notification configuration, might be useful in future, but right now, no, I don't. Version control, no. I have to go and learn how to do it. Website configuration, no, it's not a website. So I remove all of the details. Okay, we don't need. Even the tags are optional. But in this case, let's give tags. So we are careful with indentation right now, right? It's going to be better than the first because we are not messing up the indentation. So key will be name, then what's the value? It's a name value key pair. If we say that is the name, then the value should be, let's just give it R. All right, let's see how that works. Output, what do we want the bucket to show to us, to give to us? I don't see anything bucket is giving me. To display to me after it is made. Well, if you do, it's there for you to use. In this case, all right, so this is ready as far as I can see. Control S. I'm trying not to look at, let's just run it in this case. And start looking at it. All right, so what's that command? Yeah, we'll have to go and copy. We'll need to copy the command unless you remember. So the command to tell CloudFormation that this script is ready, help us validate it. Is it going to work for you? That command is AWS CloudFormation validate. But this time, what are we validating? What's the name of the file we are validating?
S3 bucket.
S3. The name of the file is S3.
S3.
We'll say Control C. I'll come here and say validate S3. All right. Awesome. Because we were careful with indentation, it says yes, your YAML file is valid. All right. So now that it's valid, you want to go ahead and create an S3 bucket, right? I mean, use the script to create S3 bucket. So let's get the command. So AWS CloudFormation create stack. It's all called stack because a stack will be created and then S3 bucket will now be one resource within the bunch of resources in this. All right, so stack name will be, let's try a different name since we just practice. I want to try practice 2. And then what file are we going to use to create this stack? S3.yaml, right? So create the stack practice 2 using this file. So click that, Control C, and then we'll come here. I will say Control V. Awesome, it is created. So we go to CloudFormation, we'll see that practice 2 is actually still being created. Right? If we look inside, and then we check the events, we'll see that practice 2 is being created, and the S3 bucket is being created, and the resource itself is being initiated. Let's go check the resource itself. So S3 bucket. Then what do we have? Okay. We'll see that the IaC bucket just created and it's public. All right, so our stack was created. That's the proof. And the resource within the, sorry? And the resource in the stack was created. But if we couldn't come here and wanted to see how this was going, please mute yourself if you're not talking to us. All right, so we wanted to check all of that from here. What's the command? Unmute yourself to contribute. All right, so our resource has been created. We want to find out what resource is created here. What's the command? So we're going to do, yeah, there are many commands. We do CloudFormation describe stack. Where's the other one? Describe.
Document.
There's one more command. Validate templates, create, describe. Yeah, this one. AWS CloudFormation list static. Control V. Provide the spacing. Actually, okay, we are good. All right, so what's the command now? One of the many commands you can use is AWS CloudFormation. List the stacks that we have created here. All right, so the list of stacks that we have created. So what do we have now? So we did have a stack earlier on called stack name. Anyway, it's no longer valid. That has been deleted. And then we had something else earlier on. These were the practices I had before you joined, before I had class. Anyway, but the point I'm trying to make is that even after they are deleted, they are still presented, just to show you what has happened or what is the history. But right now, of all of that, is telling you that even this one has been deleted, the first one we had in class together, practice 1. But look at practice 2. That one has not been deleted. That one has just been created. Creation just completed. And what resources did it create within this time? Created and executed. All right, so this is enough proof. But of course, because you still have access to your cloud, there's no harm in coming with. All right, so these are the commands.
I see that the output comes back in JSON format.
For which one?
Yeah, the query from the VS Code. No,
That's
from
in
the
JSON
VS
here.
Code.
VS
No,
Code.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
you can
this
see.
format.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yes. Yes. So JSON, if it was so JSON format is the format that AWS uses generally. So if we go into cloud, good observation. So AWS uses JSON to present, and because this is AWS file and the AWS related AWS specific function, JSON is. I used to do an exam question. Everything in, for example, you want to check a policy or you are editing policy in S3 bucket, it's in JSON. Everything is in JSON. So okay. All right, so that's our bucket. So now let us delete the bucket, or what do you want to do? Of course, you already know the commands to walk around your stack. If you want to delete, this is the command. And then we're talking about practice 2 here, right? Let's not forget to change it. We'll come here and say delete as. Delete our stack, and the name of our stack is. All right, go. And then much easier than coming in here to delete the stack and then go check whether the bucket is. All right, so this should be gone because it's stack contained. Where do we refresh? All right, so that is gone. So we just created we've created like 3 stacks now. The first contained VPC, second contained 2 S3. Now let us create one that will contain EC2. All right, so this is what we just completed. So let's set up one for EC2. Which one is this? EC2 is easy. Okay. Let's set up for EC2. Let's go. So we go there and we say new file for EC2 dot YAML. And then we don't know what to do. So how do we start? This is start. We already know that. Okay, whatever you want to keep. Whatever you don't want, it's better to delete and let them just, yeah. Okay, so we delete, we just need the resource. All right. So resources, what resource do we want? So remember to press enter here and then give a tab to say everything I'm defining now is under resource. We want EC2. So we just say EC2 instance. That's all. It's done. So all that is left is for us to complete. Okay. So my EC2 instance and that properties, key name. So the key would be what? Our key pair. So the one that we'll be using in class, that would say this class key pair. Disable API termination. I'm not sure about that, whether I want to disable or not. So let me just remove it. Sign. So notice that to keep the indentation, I'm not just deleting from anywhere or using. So I ensure I go home all the way and delete the entire one. Image ID. What is the ID of a typical, in other words, what operating system specifically am I running on this EC2? So this one, instead that you already have one like we have in our notes, or if you do not have, you quickly go to cloud and ask EC2, what are the different kinds of AMI that is okay. Right, so come here to EC2 dashboard. Okay, there's no existing EC2. Okay, I cannot copy from existing. So let me just put it out to launch. I call it server 4. All right, I want to launch Ubuntu. All right, so this Ubuntu version 22.02, that's the English. So the technical name for that is AMI ID. Look at it. The English is this. So I take this one, representing the back system, Control C. I save it permanently somewhere or whatever. Of course, I should have a table of the different AMIs that the company uses. And yeah, I can just pick. Of course, they'll have their favorite. Control V. So I've provided that. I'm going to experiment with something. All right. So instance type, what type of instance? Again, if you don't know, you want to come here quickly. And the instance type. This one happens to be T2 micro, but it's not always T2 micro. You wanted to have this kind of instance. Then you take I3.2 extra 2x last, you pick it. You come here and say, I'm setting up x3.2 extra. I'm not going to waste any more. I'm just going to do E2 dot. All right, monitoring, yes. Remember when you have the pipe, it means choose one. You want to monitor the EC2 for video and all? Yes, I want to monitor. Security group ID. What's the security group ID for this particular EC2? And of course, it's usually general, not just for community. So that's again, if you don't already have it saved, like I have mine saved, we'll be using this before. We have it saved in this Word document. All of those answers, they are some from Terraform. So look at them here. AMI instance type So I'm just saying if you don't already have them here. So if I've worked for this company for 3 days and I should know the typical system that they set up. So I already have all of this security group. But I'm saying in case you don't have them and you want to compile something like this. All right. So security group, what security groups are available? Keep here is this was where I knew that we had one. The security group, where are they? Security group, existing security group. I have many security groups. So why don't I just take the one that works? I cannot be creating security group every time I set up a new EC. So class demo security group, this should be good. All right, so class demo security group. All right, so that is it. What can I copy that? Directly from here, let's see. Yeah, that should be good. So Control C. All of the EC2 that I set up for this project would use this security group. All right, so I go here and I say security group ID. I remove that part only and I put the all right. User data. Yeah, let me see if I can add the user data. User data. So put my script here. All right. Remember my script, so let me go and copy that script. Control N. Control C. Control E. Messed up and this is where that is used. So you can actually select them all together and then just push with your tab of line by line. This is where the extension something one is useful. What was that extension that we started earlier? Indent one zip. Are you guys still there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, indent
Yes, sir.
one space. That is the use. That is where it's useful. The ability to highlight multiple lines and indent them at once. If you did not have that installed, that would not have been possible. Anyway, so that's fine. So again, in order not to mess up the indentation, I want to make sure I highlight. All right, so what else do we need? Key value is optional. If I don't want, I can remove tag completely. But let me see. I say name. And then I say value. What are we setting up? EC2? Maybe we call it web server. Or my web server. Okay. My web server. To do it the first time is requires effort, but thereafter, if you want to do it 100 times, 1 million times, it's just running the. So automation is useful in cases where you are repeating. You need to repeat it. All right. So output. What do I need for output? I need output. I can always test to see that my web server is. No, I don't know. In my own case, but some programmers or some project people who know what they want. All right. So let's test. First thing we want to test is this code valid? The command to test if this code is valid is validated. You see, Control V, but in this case, the name of this file is EC2 YAML. I come here, and say EC2. All right. Awesome. It's valid. All right. So it was just about indentation. Okay, now that it's valid, can you create this for me? Let's try. Let's try to complete. So go again. I'll copy it. I'll see CloudFormation. Create this tag for me. Call it practice 3. And use that tag. We'll copy it. Control C. And then we'll go to CloudFormation. And then we'll say create this. Call it practice 3. Use this file. This file is EC2. In other words, create this tag practice 3 and put this resource in the file. All right. Awesome. It was created. So let's go check. Of course, we can check from here using all of the. Let's do it from here. It will be, first of all, AWS CloudFormation lists the stacks that you have. What stack we have up there? Okay, so all of these have been deleted. Which one is stack? Creation in progress. All right. We want to make it created. All right. Yeah, but for now, that still have the privilege. Let's see. Take a look here. So refresh. Yes, we have practice 3, and these are the events. The practice 3 was created. The EC2, the EC2.yaml was implemented, and the resource, my EC2 instance. All right, so let's go look at the EC2. And then what do we have? We have the instance running. Initialize. Let me see if the security group works. So the security group, what did we say about security group? So we said use a, okay. Should I check that security group first? Okay, so what did we say here? For inbound, we are saying allow traffic. Okay, actually, that's good. Allow traffic so that we don't have problem with them. Okay. Since all traffic is allowed, does it mean that our web server is working as a web server? So let's go to the EC2. And then I think to that. So it's running instances. And then where is it? Yes, there. Yeah. Okay, doesn't matter. Let me just look for it. All right, is it still initializing? Yes, it takes when you are running codes, it might take longer than usual. Let's see. So this is our public IP address. Everything is working fine, especially the security group. Well configured. Control V. And then what do we have? Browsing. Maybe some content. We allowed all traffic to be security group. It should be this. All right. Initializing. All right. So it's a whole stack. Actually, there are so many things, default settings that's going on in the background that we did not ask for, but they are necessary part of a stack, even though we have just one resource at this time. So let's wait for it to come. All right, so while we are waiting for that, so we can test. That's the process for creating an easy. That's all right, so has checked. Let's try again. What the problem is? Why is it not working? So let's find out. So let's do security group. Security group. Security group. Security. I had a seminar issue there. Okay, so let's check the security group. So come here, and then we say edit inbound rule, all traffic from everyone for this security group. There's something about this security group that I need to cross check. All right, because this what I expected is allow all traffic from everywhere. This is what I expected. So there's something I need to check here that I'm not getting. But I had a seminar issue there. All right, but this is what I wanted to implement: all traffic without hindrance. But let's try it manually now. Save. And what was that? There was an error modifying the security group. Let's see. All traffic from everywhere. And then we already said that's traffic.
I think it's because it's
a
still the
duplicate.
same.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Okay, I'm not sure. You said it because the same thing, right?
It's duplicate. It's the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's delete this so that we can know where our problem is. All right, so save. And then now where the problem is coming from. Not there. Okay, so our script worked, but not exactly the way you wanted it. Let's see, let's look around one more time. Running instance, security group, where this, okay, where's the security group? Okay, so I think I know, I suspect what we're doing it wrong. It's the same issue we had initially with, so this is inbound, right? Okay, where's the security group? Let's edit the security group. Yeah, right? Then inbound. It's even back to the original. Which one did we delete?
Can we just add like HTTP and C?
Yeah, let's do that. So let's just add specifically HTTP. HTTP from okay. All right. Good. It did not work. Now, which I think we should be talking about the security of the VPC, not the security of the security group of the VPC, not the security group of the instance. Like we had here. Like we had yeah, and that was the reason we highlighted, if you remember. We highlighted it here. The security, we should be talking about the security of the VPC, not the
Okay.
that's what I suspect the problem is.
And
Okay,
this
so,
should also have identified very clearly, like it was done here. They didn't.
yes,
Yeah.
they did not. Yeah. So if we try the correct thing and it works, that means we know better than them. So we'll just be teaching our students the correct thing. And that training to be struggling with it. You guys will just know the right thing to do, right? Yeah. I mean, other training from other schools. Yeah, but I suspect that. So I'll work with that and then I'll share the result. All right. So let's go on and do one more practice. Or maybe I should leave that to you because it's not. So this one, we just set up an EC2. I'll look at the security group. This tomorrow I don't have class, so I have the whole of tomorrow to affect that, or maybe even this. So will be security I'm suspecting that's where the problem is. Because I had the problem earlier on. So I went into the EC2 and I checked. The script worked fine. And then in that case, I just removed the old security group and added a new one, and then it worked. But I don't want to be doing that. So I suspect I know where the problem. But I thought because that was a bit more complex. All right. But never mind. It's not a serious thing. We're just fine. Okay, so this is the next thing we want to do. What we want to do now, which I should actually leave to you as a project, and I have deliberately not included the code that you can learn through the hard way, through the normal way to do all of this. So we already have this, right? We already created the EC2, but what we just want to do now is add the security group. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
You see this pattern?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've already done this. But what I want you to do now, what we want to do now is instead of using the general security group and referencing it, we want to specifically say, we want to define our own security group within the script. And it's essentially saying, yes, use this security group ingress. In other words, allow this incoming traffic, allow port 22 from everywhere, and allow port 80 from anywhere. That's what we're saying. Right? And to do that, all you do is so the first one ended here, server 2, right? In fact, we ended server 1. So we're continuing from so this part we are doing. So to do this part, what do you do? What are we doing? What resource are we adding? What is all this resource about? This other resource that I'm highlighting here, what is it? It's about security group. So what you do is just come here and say control end, where we ended. And then you now say you want to add one more resource. So this is resources, right? So the resource we had was EC2. Now we want to add one more. So where would it be? It will be here. It may not be there, right there, under that indication. But at the same line that the first resource started from. Security group is a separate resource by itself. Or no. Let's put the security group under this EC2. It affects only this EC2. So it should be properties. Let's see that. Yes. Security group. Type this. Distance security group. This. Let's do it together. All right. So this is my instance. The security group I'm trying to create is related to my instance. So it has to be, I'm guessing it should be, it's logical for it to be under instance. Instead of being at the same level of instance, it should be under instance. It should be a property under instance. So, security group ID, yeah. It be a property under instance. So let's do it. So what's the instance we want to create? Security group. We'll come here and we'll take security group. That's all. We'll take security group there. Then we'll come here and we'll say, just fill in all of this. Just by taking security group, all of this came up. We have the template for security group. All we do now is just complete the template. Are you still following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do you understand? Yeah. Do you understand why we feel that this indentation is the right one? because this security group, the one that we're even using manually, is under, is a property under
Of
the
EC2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we want to create a manual one. So instead of using that, we're going to deactivate that. So yeah, it should be under the same. That's good. All right, so you can change the name if you don't like this. Security group name. I'll give it a name. What name do you want to call it? My security group. My security group. All right. Our security group. So group name. What group name? EC2 or instance security group. Description: security group or public instance, for example. Okay. Maybe you want to change this to public. It's just a name, it doesn't mean. VPC ID. What VPC are we deploying? Yeah, that's what we're missing on the other one. So this one gives us a good opportunity. So the VPC that used to be running on, let's take the public VPC. Let's go and see if we can get the. Are we creating VPC here? No, we are not creating VPC here. Okay, so let's deploy this to public VPC. Let's go and see if we can get. Huh?
Okay to just write a default there or?
No, we need to go and get the ID.
Okay.
VPC ID for the public VPC. That will solve that problem. Okay, so let's go and get it. Way to get it is to pretend I want to set up the public EC2. So that's what we do. Then
so we are doing this because we didn't set up our own VPC.
Yes, if we had our own VPC, we still would have gone to cloud to fetch our own public VPC like we did in the manual class. Yeah, remember we did that, we used our own public VPC. All right, cool. For this one, let's use the default public VPC. So let's give it a name, maybe for, and then we just want to get that ID, that's it. Then we are using the network ID. This is the default VPC, right? So that's what we're looking for. Give us the VPC information. Where is it? Default VPC, that's the VPC. We want. Oh, no, we're not looking for VPC ID, we're looking for VPC security group. VPC security group. Okay.
I thought that
we are
a
looking for the
VPC
VPC
ID.
ID.
VPC ID, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So let's take this there. Control C. Yeah, VPC ID, correct. Thank you. All right. So we have our VPC ID now. That's the public, the default VPC. All right. So security group ingress. So let's define our ingress. Security group ingress, incoming. Incoming rule. What are the rules for your ingress? You want to allow, in fact, we don't even know what to type. So let us look for what to type. Security group ingress. So let's go and check the template to fill our security group. So let's come here to, let me go and spire. So security group ingress. This, I'm pretending I don't want to copy directly from here. So I'm pretending I don't know what. So let me do something to make the system show me. Security group. Yeah, no. Show me the template. Yeah, security group ingress secure. This is ingress here. This is, look at it, ingress. Okay, so this is the template. Correct, we found it. All right, so we align TCP. So out of those multiple, we take TCP for port 22. On port 22 from anywhere. 0.0.0.0 slash what? 0. All right. That is it.
So you want to align the IP
Yes.
protocol?
The indentation, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just highlight from there, and then we'll push everything inward. All right. And then the error messages, the underlying error goes. We are not doing outbound. We are not doing egress. We're only doing ingress because security group is what's the word?
Oh.
Security group is what?
Inbound and outbound.
Yes, what's the word for? I want to say secure. Whatever you apply at the inbound of security group automatically affects the outbound. So we don't need to declare outbound. What's the word? What's the technical explanation? Unlike NACO, what you apply at one end does not affect the other end, so you have to declare them separate. So you say one is forgotten the word? Full. Full something. So compared to NACO, security group is let's go and look for that. Yes, AWS. Difference between NACO and security group. So stateful. Security group is stateful, whereas NACO is stateless. So because it's stateful, we don't want to, there's no need to define both of them because whatever you apply to the incoming automatically affect the outgoing. Stateful. All right. So that's why I came here to find. All right, so let's continue. So we got that right. Are we declaring for another protocol? Are we opening another port? Yes.
Yeah.
So what's the port we are?
Port 80.
All right. Control C. So let us copy this. Control C. And repeat for port 80. Control V. All right. So again, TCP for port 80. Port 80 and then 20. All right. So that's fine.
Then the first one is 80 as well. I think you put SSH.
Which one?
The ingress.
Ingress, yeah. Port 22 for this SSH, yeah. And then this is 80 for HTTP.
Okay.
But you have it as TCP.
Yeah, it's TCP. The protocol that governs is TCP, not the name. It's not the name of the security group, it's the protocol. I mean here, if you come here. Come here to instance it. And you take the security group. And then you see, so this is TCP, that's the protocol.
Yeah, I know, but the other one, okay, yeah, okay. The
So
one
this is what we're
that you
answering there. Okay, let's see. They are both TCP. This TCP, this TCP.
okay.
That's the protocol. All right. So we define that. What else do we need to define? Security group rule. Yeah, we just define the security group rule. We just define that for both. We don't need this anymore. So just careful not to. Yes. Tax. I really need tax. I don't need tax there. I have too many important things to focus.
Oh, I think the other port, the 80 should be HTTP.
They are all ports are TCP, TCP/IP. TCP/IP is the suite of protocols that support all of the protocols you see here. So TCP/IP. So it's either
Oh, okay.
TCP, UDP,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So it's not the name. What we are trying to say is we want to identify each of them by their names. Yes, that would be a good idea, but it's not given to us here. So maybe if we go look for, we can say, okay, we want to, yeah, that's where tag actually comes in. You can give it a tag. But for us at this level, we already know that port 22 means SSH. So port 22 is saying TCP, in fact, this is how it is written, TCP:22. That's how it is actually written. It means TCP port 22. What is TCP? What protocol uses TCP port 22? SSH. We don't really have to do that. All right, but I get your point. Now that we have our security group defined here, we don't need this one anymore. This other fake one that we're using. So let's remove this default, or I mean, we have defined ours now that we really know. So let's remove it. Security group. All right. Okay. All right. So instead of that, it will now use this.
Yeah. What about the my group name that is still on the line or red? It looks like there's something
Where
wrong.
is it?
That's the no, just still
They're
down.
under the
Oh,
tag.
here.
My group name. Yeah.
There is an error there.
So what's the error?
No, I'm just thinking maybe we didn't delete or some of what we copied.
No.
You know, you changed the name.
Yeah, I just changed it to something we can relate.
You wanted to change the name to security group, but you didn't change it totally. You wanted to change it to my security group.
No, that's not the one I wanted to change. I deliberately changed it to my group name. My group name type. Yeah.
Maybe because we didn't have something in front. Is it?
No, it's not all the time that sometimes you know better than what it's trying to suggest. So don't be carried away. It's not all the time that I suggest error that there's actually an error. But right now I don't see any error. And then if you look at, let's look at the sample that we have. So if we compare, this is the default name that the system gives to us, but I just wanted something different from the name, so I entered my group name, and then type AWS EC2 properties. Yeah, they look the same, right?
It needs to be tagged backwards, Mr. Akin.
Oh.
It's all the way, it's matching with my EC2 instance.
This is wrong then. Anyway, let's give it a try. Let's see if that is it. Okay, so you are saying that that's the observation. Is that correct? Or one step back?
One, yeah, right there.
Okay. Okay. So let's take a copy of this and save it so that if this works, then we'll replace with
every other thing needs to move also.
Move to where? Backward?
I don't know if the lines count. There are less lines in your template in the book under my group name from the type property. I don't know if that's going to mean anything.
My group.
back my group.
Okay, let's give it a try. And always revert. Yeah, because everything should move back one step. Let's see.
Yeah,
So
I think Shift Tab should bring it back.
Shift tab. Oh God. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's what you're saying, right? They cannot be on the same level as process. Okay, here, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Okay. So let's try it here. Let's take a photo of this control. No, let's okay, so yeah. Control C. Why do we keep it in place? Let's keep it here now. Control V. Press. Okay. So let's go implement. So first of all, is this code valid? And if it's valid, will it work? So how do we test that? Oh, we are replacing our EC2, right? The same file, the same EC2. Did you delete our resources the last time? Did we remember to delete?
I thought, you know, like we used to do in Terraform, it will first find out, and if you want to, maybe you say it will destroy this, and then I don't know whether that's possible
But did we
here
delete?
as well.
Let's see.
No.
So, let's get the command to reset what we have, delete whatever we have up there. So what was the last? Let's see. So Terraform list stack, Control C. Terraform list stack. Yeah. Control C. Control V. Yes, we have a stack. We have this stack, so let's delete that. All right, so practice 3. So how do we delete that? Come back here and see. Control C. Let's go ahead. Control V. Practice 3. What was that? Was it there?
No, you took describe.
Oh, describe it.
Not
No. Okay. So I wanted to say delete, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Right. Control C. Delete practice 3. No. So let's just confirm that visually. And then we'll come here and do stars. Deleting in progress. And then our EC2. What do we have here? Okay, so let's do a fresh one. Let's do a fresh one. Okay, so let's test if this is good. This is what's the name of this file? EC2 YAML. We didn't save. Let us save. Control S. Let's save. All right. All right, let's validate. Copy the command to validate. Validate Control C, Control V. But what are we validating? EC2.yaml. ec2.yaml. Code is good. And then what do we have now? Want to go ahead and build the stack. We'll go back here and say build the stack for us and call it practice 4 using ec2 to Control-C. Build a stack, name it practice 4, and use the file ec2 ec2.yaml. That is it. All right, so we go there, and then first of all, ec2 is coming up, and then also our practice 4 is being created. Okay. Then the events creation is complete here. What resources are created? We have my group, our security group created, my group name. Okay, we should have named that a good name for us to remember. And then we'd also have our instance being created. Security group is being created, our instance is being created. All right. So what's the state of our instance? Initializing, or what's the public IP address? So to the public IP address, and let's see if everything is installed. Not yet. Okay. We have all the state initializing.
Still initializing, maybe.
The time being, let's quickly take a look at the security group. Default. What does it allow? This is default security group allows. Yeah, this is similar. This is similar to what I had earlier. All right. I understand all of this. I need to look at the all traffic from. Let me see.
Seems the security group ID. Oh, we have the default there.
So allow for port 0, all port, this port, that port. And then from everywhere.
So it's like, why do we have a different IDs of a security group here on the far left?
No, I can't explain that right now. That's where the problem is.
I think because we did not cd in the command, like cd to HTTPD index.
No, we did. We already have that as a script. Although that's different from anyway.
Okay.
So yeah. Now let's see. What's the state of our EC2? Let's see. I don't want to leave here for now. Okay, so yes, so we have this as a web server. Let's see if that works. That we know that the security group is what we need to work on. All right, so let us add rule here and then allow TCP all traffic, TCP all traffic from everywhere. I don't know what all of this is, but just to see where the problem is, let me remove all of this. If it works, then I'll come back. All right, so security group or traffic from add rule. Yeah, it's already from everywhere, right? All traffic from everywhere. Okay, so what's the situation now? Okay, so problem remains. But did I show you the okay? I didn't share the screen of the one that worked earlier. One of these worked. Okay, no problem. No problem. So I'm going to find out exactly what this is. But okay.
Star, is there a way we can use Linux to access, manually access those
Definitely.
files
Definitely.
and see if our, data actually entered into the server?
Yes, I can show you. I already know that it entered, but I'll show you. Let me check the security with you to see whether it returned to the default value. No, it didn't. So this is okay. All right. So the troubleshooting start from, did they actually convert to a web server? Okay, let's quickly check that. So EC2 running instance, connect to it, and then we're connected. And then we see, first of all, it's HTTPD installed. Oh, we're using Ubuntu, right? Ah,
Yes.
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 no.
We are using
No.
Ubuntu. I think we were writing a Linux
We're writing Linux commands
command.
in Ubuntu.
Yeah.
No.
Mm.
So where's you cannot do yum in Ubuntu. All right. Okay, so let's quickly repeat this using not Ubuntu, using Linux, because these are Linux commands. All right. So what are we going to change in order to have a Linux? Amazon Linux instead of Ubuntu. That's what we're going to change, right? Our image ID. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, do you understand that in order to run this on a Linux machine, we need to change the Amazon image ID? You don't understand?
Did we copy this from the Ubuntu or the Amazon Linux?
Amazon.
Oh, okay.
All right, so let's
you want
change
us to
our.
delete this, right?
Yeah, we're not deleting the whole thing. We're just changing this image ID. That's what I'm highlighting.
Okay.
We're changing this machine to Amazon Linux machine. All right.
Okay.
So let's go and grab an Amazon Linux machine instance. Okay, so in fact, let us stop this and let's quickly delete this first. Delete the stack and start all over. Maybe not all over, just do the address. How do we delete stack? We'll go here and we'll see delete. See? And then we'll say delete. Delete what? Practice 4. All right, so what do we have? Let's quickly check. What stacks do we have now? That one is deleting. What EC2 do we have? Refresh. All right, so we'll go to our script and then we'll say, no, this is wrong. Remove that. Let's go and grab a new one to put there. EC2, let us get it together. So EC2 server 3 and then Amazon Linux. What's the for Amazon Linux? Where's the AMI? This one, control C, and then we put Amazon here, control V. That's it. Control S.
Okay.
All right. So let's try one more time. So control S. We have the new file, so to check the code will be this, Ctrl C, and then Ctrl V, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Oh, just right. All right, so what's the file we're using? ec2.yaml. So I come here and I see I'm using ec2. Is it valid? Yes, it's valid. Okay, go ahead and run it. To run it, the command is that.
Well, why is Ubuntu not taking a Linux command? I think they belong to the same family.
Let's just focus on this so that we don't lose track. So ec2, right? ec2 that. Then let's call this one practice 5. Practice 5 using ec2. Okay. Awesome. All right, so things are happening now in cloud. Let's go and see. There'll be different this time. So let's go. Different. All right, so go to CloudFormation. You have any stack up? Yes. That resulted in the creation of a new EC2. EC2 yes. Running instance. Yes. Your current instance console is being recorded. All right, that's initializing. Okay, so while it's initializing, show me your IP address. The IP address. That's the public one. This one, okay, see. And are you able to browse now? Oh, wow. Awesome. Beautiful. All right. So this is our perfect. These are perfect. Thank you guys for your observations. These are perfect script. So let me copy these countries. Are you still there? Ctrl C.
Yeah.
And give it to you as a special script without error. That's worked beautifully. So it resolved the issue we had earlier on that I said I was doing. All right, so let me save this for you. Notepad, Control B, and then, yeah, I say I normally don't want to save codes, but because this one works perfectly, I want to save this. So how do you want me to save this? Let me save this as what?
Special project.
To EC2 and security group. Right? That text. And then save it as CloudFormation. Yes. Save. All right, so I'll put that in the group for you. All right, so that is it. Everything worked fine. This is a great start. All right, so yes, the question about no Ubuntu commands as Ubuntu does not use the YOR. What are we? We are doing we'll be using Ubuntu now.
Oh, it's using APT, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now I get it.
Yes. All right. So that is it. This is working. So with that, now we have completed the practice of cloud formation. Cloud formation. Okay. So we had. I don't even know which one again. So give me 1 second. Let me remove both of them. It said we reserved one and said we're not sure which one. Let's delete them. All right, and then get the real one. This is the real one. And then we'll say all right, and then what were the the cautions that we took earlier? VPC, where's that VPC ID?
It's just
VPC.
below
At the
Yeah,
bottom.
28.
Line 28.
Gotcha. So I'm going to say that this one will be what? Let me see. Let me see. This one, you got it from where? Will be public. It must be public. Public VPC. Public subnet. Okay, specifically, this was the default VPC. All right, so that will go down from. Then something else we got. And then somebody drew our attention to the fact that
Image ID.
error. Yeah, that's image ID. And then these two must be aligned. And then image ID, what's image ID? Yes, image ID was an Ubuntu server. Sorry, was
Linux.
Amazon Linux. Sometimes if you know this thing, 3 months down the line, we'll forget if we don't have a proper documentation. Control-C. Control-C. We'll come here and go to setup. This is security group. Awesome. That's it. All right, so that's it. We've completed that. Any question? We still have 1 hour to play around. But of course, more than questions, go and practice. And of course, the next class we are going to have, we'll learn how to create a repository. We'll create GitHub account, have repository, and then I'm going to push this file to the repository where you can upload the files that I promised you. Let's do it the professional way instead of sending them to your email. I've pushed the codes because there are codes now. The repository where you can always pull them to your local VS Code and work with them. Update their cloud. All right, so that'll be next class, and I'll be starting DevOps. For the time being, if there's any question, ask them. And then before we forget, let's quickly delete our resources. Yeah, I'll see that. Our practice 5 is still on. Create tab. Can actually still work from here. Create tab with new resources standard, imported resources. All right. If I already have my stack files saved in S3 bucket, I'll give the URL. All right, whatever I have them. But if I'm going to upload from the template file, I'll choose the file. Let me even try. Where's my? Where is I'll choose the file, and then infrastructure as code, CloudFormation. I'm supposed to open folder. This is where I saved that one. Upload template from file. JSON or YAML. I'll do that one later. Let me remove that file from it. Let me not use the two things to confuse the one that was. Yeah, but that's easy. I can just upload all of my files there and run them from there, but nobody really wants it to work for me. It's an elementary way of doing it. This is the real way to do it. What was I trying to do? Okay, delete path. Delete the stack that we created. How do we do that? We'll go to copy the command. I will say delete. It's just simple Control-C. Then we'll come back. Control. Control-C, then and then the name of the stack is practice 5. Practice 5. And then what is going on here? Instance is running, but we'll refresh. And then we'll come here to see what stacks are available. And then practice 5 is being deleted. All right, but next time we are not coming here to check anything. We'll be checking everything from CLI. And the way to check it from CLI would be, first of all, show me what stacks are running, Control-C. And then I can zoom on the particular stack that I want. And that is deleted, that is deleted, that is deleted, that is deleted. No stack is running, right? You can now see stack is running. So I cannot even give stack name because there's no stack on. I already know that there's no stack. So I cannot use it. If I had the stack running and I wanted to see specifically the events that led to the establishment of that, to the deployment of that stack, then I can use stack name. Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for today. Any questions? Any questions?
No.
So I'll give you two things: the note, the latest note that have the same note but dated to cover CloudFormation, and then the code. Anything I should give to you that anything that I promised to give? All right, so go practice your infrastructure as code. I know that you will not be able to do everything right away from the CLI, but try as much as possible to see what you can do from CLI. Not necessarily going to cloud, all of it. Whatever you need to go to cloud to copy, Just copy them, open a notebook like I normally do, and save everything there, so that instead of going to cloud to copy IP addresses and IAM information, you have everything stored in the cloud. All right, that's it, guys. So if I'm seeing you in DevOps, it continues next week, Monday the 3rd. Otherwise, that's it for cloud solutions.
Monday or Tuesday?
Oh, this your class is Tuesday, sorry. Yeah, so Tuesday, Sunday, right? What's the schedule? I hope I'm not messing things up.
Tuesday and Thursday.
No. What's the schedule for DevOps? We are going to DevOps, right? No, we didn't even discuss that. It's a different schedule. DevOps is weekends.
Ah.
DevOps is weekends. Sorry, I didn't mention that right.
Weekends when?
Weekends, let's see together. September. DevOps is where's my DevOps. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. That was a mix of me. So what are we doing now? We are going to DevOps CI/CD automation. So it would be Tuesdays and Thursdays. Sorry about that. I keep missing something. So it remains same time, Tuesdays, Thursdays. It is when we complete that first 1 month, and we're now moving to the final part, Kubernetes resume preparation, which is no big deal because we're actually already infusing resume preparation and interview into the whole program. It's not like it's going to be 1 full week of lecture, maybe just an hour interaction, emotional interaction. All right, so it remains Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It remains Tuesdays and Thursdays. For now. All right. Thank you, everybody. All right, then.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
For the
you.
DevOps
Thank you.
CI/CD, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So the DevOps CI/CD, what topics are we look or what which
Yeah,
ones are
we'll
we
be
looking
discussing
at
that
next?
from day one. I've already anyway. So let's see them together. The IaC. We've seen this in class many. So
Okay, thank you.
yeah, and then a better way. There's a better way to look at it than this one. Where's DevOps? Where's DevOps? Here. These are the things we'll be covering here. Can you see this?
Yes, okay, thank you.
Yeah. So we are starting with this next week. JIT. Everybody will have a GitHub account, and then we have repository. You move some codes there, and then you learn to communicate with your GitHub using JIT commands. So we're going to learn JIT commands. All right. Then after that, we move to Maven and so on and so forth. But let me send this to you. All right. Thank you so much, guys. See you in class.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.